Hey, what is going up, YouTube friends and family? It's a guy with beard, guns, and gear. I got a little project today. I'm not going to say I've been putting it off, but I've had this. I bought this around Christmas time. It is obviously like a transport box for pistols. I got an amazing deal on it. They had like a super clearance sale. And my intention is to put as many pistols in it as possible so I can transport it to the range and have to worry about one box instead of like, 4, 3, whatever boxes like this. And I can always, take pistols out or whatever as I'm not going to need them. So the fact that I took my Glock 17 to the gunsmith, and if you haven't seen that video, you should check it out because it looks so cool. So I took my Glock 17 to the gunsmith for the Cerakote and RMR mounting. I didn't have it in hand to do the test fit on this or to see how I'm going to place them basically. So my intention is, now that I have my pistols in my possession, I can actually take a look at the size of the box, line them up, and see how I want to put them. Now, tools I'm going to need, I think, for the job, I've kind of grabbed a scattering of tools, what I could think might be helpful. I've got like a box cutter. I've got a few of these. If I have to, I'll change a blade, see how that works out for me. Maybe I need a longer blade, I'm not sure. I've got like one of those Havalon style scalpel-esque hunting knives, which are deadly sharp. A marker. I took it black because I don't want to really see the marks after I'm done with the cut and fit. And then I've got a couple of mags here because I don't know space-wise if I'm going to have room to put magazines in here. If not, it's not a big deal. I wasn't planning on it. I'll put them in the box. So the foam comes in like 3 layers on this. And of course the top layer, which has to be like adhesive sprayed to the top. So it will move around. So as you can see, 3 layers, very thick. It's going to support the pistols great. And we'll try and get a close-up of this and bend it without breaking. But you can see they're already kind of pre-cut. All you have to do is kind of section the little cubes away. So that's going to make things a little bit easier. And my intention, if you just want to kind of have a gander at what I'm thinking, okay, it's a Glock in a box, a blocky Glock in a box, is to kind of stand them up like this so that I can get pretty good access to it. I know which way the pistol's facing, and it'll be nice and supported for shock back and forth, and of course have enough space in between each pistol. So what I've got enough room for is the 19X, the 17, and then the 22 revolver. This one, which you guys have seen. If you haven't seen, you can check out the video on this for the unbox. Pretty cool. Little Ruger Wrangler, 22 caliber, like single action, kind of a modernized single action army from back in the day. The one that would not fit, unfortunately, is one of the most fun ones to shoot, and that's the 357 because it's got a 6.5-inch barrel. So, I mean, it'll fit in, but as you can see, there's a lot protruding out of that box, so it's not going to work that way. I don't want to lay it sideways, although I could. I don't want to do that. I want them standing up because I've seen it and it's very handy. I've seen other people with boxes like this at the range that I go to. So this guy here will stay in his box for transportation when we go back and forth to the range. So what I'm going to basically do then is kind of space them out. I've got a bottom layer of foam. It's very thin, and I'm going to have it resting on the bottom layer of foam, and all I'm going to do is just kind of space it out, like I said, get kind of a center. I'm not that anal retentive that it has to be precise. I'm not going to measure it. I'm going to guesstimate it, and then I'm going to put this layer of foam underneath of it. I'm going to kind of cut a little bit, trace a little bit, cut a little bit, and see how it's starting to set. So you don't want to see all of this. Trust me, it's probably going to take an hour or more to do this. I want to take my time and do it correctly and properly. But like I said, I want the pistol sitting like this. You can kind of see where the points of contact are going to be, and I want the barrel like sinking in a little bit more. So I'm going to have to obviously, you know, and that kind of makes that might be an option right there, is just kind of push in, make the impression, and then cut around it, and that will kind of give me my point, and probably a little bit further up, but it's going to be a lot of trial and error. So follow me on my journey to make a custom pistol box. So this is the exact size of the box, and I think I want my Glock 17 as far over as possible. I want space between it and the side so it doesn't get jarred, so I want some foam support, basically, is what I'm saying. So I think I'm gonna like push it in like this, and you can hear that kind of ripping, and that works really cool. Look, it's standing up on its own. So then I'm gonna go over a little bit, and I'm basically gonna do the same thing with the Glock 19. And I hope the mic's picking that up, but I can actually feel it through my hands. And then I'm gonna probably push on the other side. Yeah, like this. And then last, but, well, I mean, let's be honest, last and least. Last and least is the revolver. I have to change the angle a little bit on this because it's a little bit longer. And the handle is actually not so close to the end of the barrel. So I think that that's going to be actually just supported like this. So I've got my 3 marks, and I'm going to take my marker and just kind of draw around, being ever so careful not to draw on my actual Glock. It's really hard to see, but I kind of want it that way, because I don't want to be able to see. I've seen people do this, and they actually use liquid paper or that white, and it looks awful. Like, really awful. God damn. So, I'm just making sure I didn't accidentally draw on the side of this one, because this one's a little bit hard to see with the contrast, but it looks good and pretty as always. And if you can see that, you see the impression that it's left. Not to be confused with the Mighty Mighty Boss tones, which is the impression that I get. Alright, so I'm going to try this one here first. See how this works? Oh, this works really well. So I'm going to cut a little bit at a time. I want to do a really nice job on this. And you can see that it's pushed it all the way down like that. So what that tells me is I probably don't have to cut all the way. I'm going to try and go like half the way. This one here cuts really good. And again, whatever you guys have, if you got some other ideas, well, it's too late now. But I'm a DIY kind of guy. In fact, that's why I haven't been putting out very many videos lately, is because I've been DIY renovating a shower. We've actually got 2 bathrooms on the go, and that is a giant pain in the butt. So, all right. So you can see the blocks, once you cut the bottoms of them, you can pull them right out. So what I'm going to do is, man, I got to be really careful with this knife, because one wrong move and I could be on my way to a hospital trying to get stitches. All right, so all right, I like that. I like that. So then I'm just gonna, not so bad, right? I think this is gonna be pretty easy, relatively speaking. We're gonna see where this goes. So we're gonna pause it there, and I'm gonna keep working on this, and then you'll come back and you'll see where I've got. Okay, so this is just the second layer of foam. As you can see, I kind of got some holes. So what I've been doing is placing the firearm down, kind of cutting it, making sure that, you know, it fits. And I mean, it's a long process because you kind of shave away here. So making sure the firearm fits. And then for the second layer, it's basically going over top of them. So you kind of have to get a rough shape. And then, you know, all I'm doing basically is going over top of the firearms, seeing how they fit. Glocks you can actually take right out. And I don't mind if they're a little tight, because tight means secure, right? So lining up all the holes like that, and I can see that the revolver fits in there nice, right? I may clear out a little bit around here. If you can see that the handle is kind of sunken in there now, and I don't really want that. But the Glocks, I mean, they fit nice and snug in there. So I got one more layer to do, and that should be it. I got a little bit more trimming to do here, but this is kind of what I'm doing, and it's just, you know, put it in there. That's what she said. Trying it out, testing to see how it fits, and I can see just by doing this, and I can see where the bend is in the foam, and it's pushing out around the revolver cylinder. So here I'm just going to take the knife and just shave around that, just so it's not compressing. But you know, I might cut a little bit here at least so I can get my hand onto it, because this one is really sunken down and it had to shape, it had to go in there in order to fit the barrel. All right, so that's all we're doing. Okay, so I mean, as you can see with all the lumps of foam, big pieces and small pieces, it takes a lot of cutting. Be patient with it. Keep on testing, and I mean, this is by no means perfect, but I mean, what's the aim of this thing, right? Is just to secure the firearms in transport. It is snug in there. If you can kind of get a look, and you'll see, like, you're going to need room in order to actually put your hands in there. So once it's in the box, you know, they should fit in there fairly snug, but you should be able to get your hands in to grab the hand grips in order to pull them out. So, like, I'll just show you quickly. Like, that's what the top layer looks like. And some parts you need to cut, but if your foam is done in the same manner as mine is, you can tear it off in strips. You just have to be careful with it as you go along, that you don't tear too much. That's the top layer. This is the second layer. As you can see, like, you know, back and front here, there's a couple of places where I just kind of shaved off a little bit with a sharp knife. You can tell which one is the revolver because it's kind of rounded. So, and then the bottom layer looks like this. So now I'm just going to put these aside and throw them in the box here. I don't really want to put a pistol on top of a wobbly foam part. Just me. Okay, in the bottom half, you can see, like, the foam is going to move and it's going to take some of the shape anyway, but we're just going to go into the box. I'm going to move the box over a little bit so you get a better look. Okay. It's such a mess. Okay, second layer. Just to make sure I'm going revolver, Glock 17, Glock 19, all in the same kind of thing. And the nice thing about this is, if you ever did anything like added a flashlight or a laser pointer for any one of your firearms, you could still get at it and you know, modify the foam. Okay, so that's what the inside of the box looks like now, and you have still the top. So I'm absolutely not worried about the optic getting dinged around or anything like that. Glock 17 in the far right pocket. Okay, Glock 19 middle pocket. Everything is fitting in there really nice, actually. I mean, it's not the most beautiful job in the world, but like I said, what's the goal of it, right? Secure the firearms. Everything is in there. Give it a little shake. Like, I can see that it's nice and snug. If you wanted to, I guess you could pack some foam down on top just to make sure they don't come out of their little spot, like so, like so, and like so. You could do that. That's depending on your level of anal retentiveness. My level is about 300, so I'm doing this. You can even take the parts out that you cut, you know, just to kind of fit it in there. And this is what I was saying, like it pops apart really nice. You just have to be careful with it because you do not want to rip that after all the time you spent putting that together. Alrighty, I think I'm going to use this piece instead because it fits right underneath a hammer. And now I'll put this on top, and I'm just going to close it, and just to see if that even touches the top of the foam. And you'll see because there'll be a print. Voila! Alright, I'll have a little seat here. This has been a project that I've been thinking about and wanting to do for quite some time. It is great to get a box like this if you have many firearms transporting. Then you need one lock. You it centralizes everything. You know where it is. You can put your paperwork in there behind the foam even if you wanted to, or make a little pocket on the inside. It's better than lugging 3, 4, 5, however many you want to go to the range with. And sometimes you might say, well, I'm just going to shoot the Glock 17. I'm bringing that. This way here, you can put them all in there. It's not a big deal, and then you decide. Again, the tools that I needed, I use this one a lot. You can tear a lot more. You just have to be really careful when you're tearing it because you don't want the whole thing to come out. This is some of the other tools that are available. You know, if you had a nice longer blade on this, certainly go to your arts and crafts, get an X-Acto knife. There's plenty of different kits with a multitude of blades. But I found this was suffice for what I did. And now my box is all ready to transport pistols, and I wanted to do this because I want to go to the range soon and I want to bring all my firearms with me. So again, I'm the guy with Beard Guns and Gear. Take your time, do this. It's a great DIY. I think I paid $40 for this. If you get one that's already pre-cut for pistols, depending on the type, like I know in Canada the Nanook one goes for like 110 bucks. I paid $38 for this one. It was on super clearance, and it'll fit 3 pistols. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did like it, go ahead, click like, subscribe to my channel. I'll have some future DIYs, I'm sure, like this coming up in the future. And you guys have yourself a fantastic day.